everybody. I wanted to talk a little bit about habit 3, which is usually the most difficult for people. It's put first things first. So, this is your habit of prioritizing your life, otherwise known as time management. And I say this all the time, but I'm going to say it again. We all have the same amount of time, but we don't have the same amount of money. And how we spend our time often determines how much money we have. So you really want to prioritize your 1,440 minutes a day, your 168 hours a week, and the 15-minute segments you have. So we have 96 15-minute segments in a day. If you spend 2 of those, that's 1/2 hour a day, on the goal that you want to accomplish the most, you're going to get there faster. Remember the story of the tortoise and the hare? It's consistency. It's doing things consistently every day for 30 days, for 60 days, for 90 days until you create a new habit. It could be walking half an hour a day. It could be reading a half an hour a day. It could be outlining your work, listening to a lecture, whatever it is you really want to do. But you have to devote at least 2 of your 96 15 minutes toward this goal. If you do it every day, it will become easier. Trust me. Exercise has been challenging during the pandemic, but commit yourself to doing something and it will work out. So there are 4 quadrants in the quadrant of time management. Quadrant 1 is filled with procrastinators. Those are the people who find that everything they do is a crisis. That might be you. Some things we can't control, the weather, traffic, and things like that. But a lot of things we do control in our lives, but when we leave them to the last minute, they do become a crisis. Crises can rob your time. You run out of gas. Your car's not running well, and then all of a sudden it breaks down. All those things that happen to us, sometimes we could have handled earlier. Quadrant 2 is where all of the 7 habits lie. This is where your mission statement is. Quadrant 2 activities are not urgent or important, but they are important. So we tend to neglect them. If you spend more time in quadrant 2, the quadrant of leadership, you will find that your life works a little bit more smoothly. Quadrant 3 are things that we think are urgent, but they're really not. It's other people's drama. Quadrant 3 is other people's drama. When other people rob your time, you need to, put a hold on that. You need to do something, because hanging up the phone sometimes works, not answering every text message, not trying to save everybody in the world. That will give you some time back to do other things. People who are really effective learn to say no to relatives, to friends, to victims, to anyone who is taking up too much of their time so that they're not meeting the goals they've set for themselves. Quadrant 4 is the quadrant of waste and excess. This is the quadrant where you do anything but what you're supposed to do. We call it Slackerville. So look at your life and figure out what you do that wastes time. Do you watch television too much? Are you gaming 5 hours a day? What are you doing that you should give up in order to meet your goals? Things in quadrant 4 can be effective if you spend time golfing or something like that, and it's an exercise, that's good. But if you spend 8 hours a day to stay away from your family, then it's not good. If you watch television for educational purposes, that's good. But if you spend 24 hours a day, then it's not good. So things in quadrant 4 can be productive. It just depends on how you're using them. If you're staying in quadrant 4, spending all your time there because you're avoiding other people or other things, homework, schoolwork, whatever it is, then that's not good. So quadrant 2 is the goal, but you have to look at all the time you spend in your life. I know a lot of people are working and going to school. That's a priority. Then you have your family. That's a priority. So what's left? If you don't have a lot of time left, then you're bound not to succeed in school because there's no time left to be really effective at it. And that's why you have to kind of reprioritize your goals. I know everybody has to survive. I know you have to pay bills. I know the unemployment rate is high. I know people are losing their homes, and it's really tough right now. It is really tough. So I just want to say to you that no matter what happens, think about where you're putting your energy. And that's really, if it's not in a good place, then the output is not going to be in a good place. So you kind of have to reprioritize everything that's going on. Okay. 7 habits are tools to help you become effective. Not as often as efficient, but effective. Okay, efficient is scheduling things and getting a little checklist. Effective is spending whatever amount of time you need on the goals you've set. And efficiency is different for everybody. Effectiveness is long term. Okay. All right, guys. See ya. Bye-bye.